Equality in life has never been truer for this young, gorgeous redhead from the northern beaches, the pride of the peninsula. After the Ashes, Australia pulling off one of the greatest wins in Test match cricket history. On the same day, the Queensland Maroons go back-to-back to claim a second straight Origin series, putting in one of the most dominant performances they have since arguably that 8 in a row side. The 2017 decider is probably the last game I can remember where the Queensland Maroons were so dominant. They claim their, what is it now? Second straight series, but they've won 3 of the past 4. This was New South Wales' chance to go into the golden age, and yeah, if it couldn't get any worse, other than seeing you bloody Queensland Maroon fans getting yet another W in my 21 years on the planet. Manly season also ended too, but look, I don't really want to talk about that. Maybe there's a little bit of hope, the tiniest bit of hope, that maybe the scans lie. And they said that Turbo is fine, and then he's only out for a few weeks rather than the rest of the season. But we can talk about that in another video because, look, I have to be honest, I tipped the Blues, I put a bit of cash on the Blues, I did predict Queensland, but I didn't predict Queensland by that much. And after 2021, we were saying that this was our chance. After 2018, this was our golden era as New South Wales Blues to finally put Queensland to the sword. And yeah, you guys up north, usually our friends, besides these 6 to 8 weeks, you've done us again and again and again. There's something special up there as a Blues fan. It kills me to admit it. I was talking a big game before kickoff about this was our chance to shut up Queensland spirit once and for all, but if anything, we just proved that it's there in spades. Some incredible performances from the Queensland Maroons. What Billy Slater is able to do for some of these players. I was saying it, and I said it about 10 days ago in that video I made after the teams were announced. I said that, look, you can't name a player that has played their best game in the Origin arena during the Freddy Fiddler era. But I could name 10 of these Queenslanders who in the past 2 series alone have played their best rugby league football under Billy Slater. Billy was a great fullback, the best of all time, but I'm even more worried about what he's going to do as a coach because Queensland, they have a younger side now and they have just destroyed us. Yes, we didn't have Cleary, but many people, including me, were very critical about his Origin career so far. We lost Turbo in the second minute. We haven't had Latrell Mitchell, but Turbo and Latrell, they ain't saving us in that one. An incredible performance by the Queensland Maroons. Just, I can't name you a bad player for Queensland. Reece Walsh, look, although he's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, including myself. I'd be lying if I said at the end of the game, I didn't want Luai to whack him. But in saying that, you know what? He had a fair point, shushing Luai, looking at pointing at the scoreboard because he was phenomenal. He got 2 try assists. He played a key role in Queensland. And I won't lie, I thought Reece Walsh would be one of the best players in the world one day, but he has come on so quick. And a lot of people say being a aspiring player for the Broncos is one of the easiest jobs in rugby league. But you know what? Reece Walsh, he could be that missing ingredient, and he is going to be a superstar for a long time. Sorry, Warriors fans, but at least you got RTS back. Xavier Coates, look, honestly, he was phenomenal, and Selwyn Cobb is going to come back over in Valentine Holmes. I thought he was outstanding. The hammer. He's turning into Queensland's equivalent of Turbo Latrell Mitchell. I know he doesn't have the resume so far, but look what he's doing for the Dolphins. Can you believe he was coming off the bench last year? He's one of the top 10 players in the NRL on form at the moment. Murray Taulagi, I was very critical around his selection, but he was phenomenal as well. Cameron Munster and DCE, you two absolute bastards. Hopefully they kill each other on Saturday so I can see one of them fail, because these two, they're the main reason Queensland are winning. Yes, Lindsay Collins got man of the match and he was outstanding. Yes, Ruben Cotter in game 1. Yes, Carrigan and Ponga last year. But these two, in a series, in an era where Queensland were meant to be dominated. If you said to someone when DCA was named Maroons captain in 2019, you were going to win 3 of the next 5 Origin series, looking at the New South Wales side, you would have been laughed at, especially considering what DCE's reputation was again amongst Maroons fans only 5 years ago. But what him and Munster are building, look, it's nowhere near the 8 in a row but Jesus Christ. It'd be interesting to see how those boys go. DC, that rundown on Stephen Crichton, love to see him do it in a Manly jersey, just saying very quietly, but this time every year, man, can we just say he's one of the best halfbacks in the comp? I'd love to see how Manly go without him. For all I'm going to cry that Tom Trbojevic is out, and what we've seen with Jake, when DCE isn't there, at least we can win without those two. Can't remember the last time we won a game without Cherry Evans, and thank God he's been pretty good when it comes to injuries, but let's hope I didn't just jinx it in that little sentence. Lindsay Collins, man of the match, deservingly so. Oh my God, what a freak. Ben Hunt, he was solid. Big Tino. Can't believe how young he is. He's going to be one of the best forwards in the game. Same with Fafita, same with Nano, Paddy Carrigan. He is better than Isaiah Yeo. Yes, Yeo has been doing it for years, but Isaiah Yeo, especially in the Blues, I just think, for all what we talk about Cleary and stuff, he is a shell of what he is at Penrith. And when you look at Paddy Carrigan, this is his, 5th Origin match? And outside of probably Jake Game 2 last year, he's been the best forward on the field, or one of the best forwards on the field in every single game he has played. Harry Grant was quiet, and they won by a lot, which just shows you Harry Grant didn't need to do anything but make his tackles and give good service. Tommy Flegler was good. Ruben Cotter was outstanding once again. I mean, has he played 80 minutes every game he's played for Queensland? I didn't have him in my side. Somebody shoot me. Mo Fodawaker didn't really get an opportunity, but look at that. 1-17, and I can't tell you one single player had a bad game. Not one. It's just phenomenal. This Queensland spirit thing. You're not superheroes for going in that Queensland jumper, and God, hearing it pisses me off. But there's something about it. What Billy Slater does, it's absolutely phenomenal for the Blues. Look, unfortunately, I said it a bit earlier, I can't name you one Blues player who's played their best career footy under Freddy Fittler. James Tedesco, look, he undisputedly gets game 3 because, look, Dylan Edwards is the only one putting pressure on him. And look, I love Dylan Edwards, but please don't throw another Penrith player in there. He at least gets game 3. I think he'll be there personally, and I'd like to probably say this for a video, cash in a bit of that revenue, but ever since he's become captain, the Roosters and the Blues especially, that's all I'm saying. That's all I want to say. Look at the record. Just look at the record. Brian Toto, one of our best again. I mean, 172 metres, yes. He had a few defensive lapses, but you know what? He's always up there for us. Stephen Crichton was pretty good too. Tommy Turbo, not much about him. Josh Adokar. Now look, after the World Cup, I had Fox in my side, and I didn't have him in my Blues side like I did after the World Cup, as I just said. But I didn't have him in my side. I can understand why Freddy had to pick him. In saying that, he hasn't been great for the Bulldogs. Look, you don't want to blame a winger, and I literally said that 10 days ago. But what I will give Fox shit about, I guess, sorry to drop the S word, but you know what? It is YouTube. You should be 13 to have an account. That punch on Reece Walsh was so unnecessary. And if I'm a Bulldogs fan and he's going to miss 2 to 3 weeks for that, I am absolutely disgusted because, you know what? And I'd like to say this about a few Blues players, and you know what? They're phenomenal athletes. They play in Origin, alright? They'd kill me in the street. So luckily, they'll never see my face. But it's pretty easy to find if you look at Paddy G podcasts or whatever. But guys like him, Hudson Young, boys, do it in the game. Reece Walsh, at least if he's going to headbutt Luai, he's going to get 2 tries and show you up. Josh Adokar and Hudson Young, he did play better than he did in game 1, but Jesus Christ, boys, actually play the game, not just be like a passenger, be woeful, get dominated by DC. Hudson Young, dominated by a halfback, and then had the audacity to try and be grubby, push him around, punch him. You know what? Just grow up. Honestly. Hudson Young, phenomenal bloke. Absolutely loved him. But play the game. You're woeful in game 1. You're going up against one of Queensland's best ever halfbacks, and you have the audacity to try and put shit on him. Jerome Luai, he was probably one of our better players. Again, in saying that, pretty disappointing game for Luai. I made a point in my preview, he was our guy, and when you give him Damien Cook, if you had Tom Trbojevic or probably Stephen Crichton, who was the actual left centre, he probably ices those bat-ons, but yeah, we'll get to Cookie in a minute. Mitchell Moses, unfortunately, he did nothing bad. He did nothing good either. Yeah, look, we've groomed Hines for this many years. I think he's a lock for Game 3, personally. Junior Barlow was quiet. I can't believe he only got 32 minutes. Payne Haas, look, he has a great stat line, but once again, I just feel like he goes missing in these sorts of games. Like what he does for the Brisbane Broncos is the best forward all-time, generational talent. I can't name you a single Origin game where he's been our best forward. Like, maybe you could argue this one just because there was no one else. But, yeah, Tyson Frizzell, look, he was better in game 1. Hudson Young, I've already had my thoughts on him. Isaiah Yeo. Look, Isaiah Yeo, great for Penrith. Can you stop being a halfback? Just be a forward, dude. Like, you're not one of our strike players. All you are is creating space for these halves. And when you're not creating space for these halves, get out of the way and just let Moses or Luai be first receiver. You know? Stefano, 14 minutes. What a waste of a bench spot. Freddy Fittler. I mean, should we get into him? Murray probably should go on the centres. Lee Martin was great once again. Reece Robson, he didn't do anything too bad. He wasn't great at all. But shout out for him to play 80 minutes on Origin debut at dummy half. But Brad Fittler, that'll be the biggest question coming out of this game. And I'm probably going to save most of my thoughts because I want to make a video that'll probably go up tomorrow morning. Unless Tommy Turbo does get officially ruled out. And then maybe we'll do a 2-1. But look, from Freddy's perspective, he should be very happy that there's no one really pushing him to be Blues coach at the moment. Because this is one from the last 4 series now. And this year, I could forgive it. And last year, I could forgive that. 2020, you cannot forgive. You can never forgive 2020. That was one of the worst performances from a Blues side. One of the worst performances from an Origin side I think we will ever see. But it's the circumstances of why we're losing. I made the video 10 days ago, and I'll make my point again. What are we building here? You hook Hudson Young after 30 minutes. Brad Fittler dropped Jake Trbojevic in game 1 last year. I mean, honestly, I think that's probably the perfect way to end talking about the Blues. Jake Trbojevic was dropped from Origin. Brad Fittler dropped Jake Trbojevic. Just let me say it one more time. Brad Fittler dropped Jake Trbojevic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to me cry, /rant, /dribble, /cope, I guess. Smash that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 5k. And leave a comment down below. What will be your thoughts on Game 2 of the 2023 State of Origin Series? Congratulations to Queensland. It pains me to say it, but I guess they get it. They get State of Origin football. If we get swept in New South Wales, then I don't know what I'm going to do. Friday night.